Steamboat.
The Flatcher's family, Steve Jones, who's right,
Also, we all have them.
right, Kim Jones and her husband John Sinclair, and Lorraine Mahler, a whole group of people that,
Who's who of
yeah, absolutely, and they're all friends, they're all great, they're all very welcoming, and
Adriana as well.
Adriana Nelson, who was Romanian descent American, and her husband Jeremy, they're really terrific people, and it was magical. And from there, I flew home for a little bit, and Pat continued the trip for a while.
Yeah, so from there I went to Albuquerque, and that was, obviously it's kind of a mecca, or one of the meccas in like that area as well, but didn't stay there for very long, just a night going through. I stayed with friends of friends that was, very warm, and went for a run with them, and then, which is I guess around the next week. And then went to Austin, where I stayed with people that I know from my faith. And then San Antonio, where I did a long run there, which was brutal, super miserable there. And then the Woodlands, which is like a high school, hotbed, yeah. Near Houston, I have a teammate who lives there. And then New Orleans, where he flew in. So I was alone for maybe a week and a half, and was mostly staying with Columbia people and people that I knew through Columbia people. And like I said, we go to Texas every winter, so kind of hit all the places and people that I know down there.
So then I flew into New Orleans, and we had a great time in New Orleans. We saw what we describe as a gang fight in New Orleans, but it was with instruments.
Okay.
With saxophones and trombones, and it was fabulous.
They put half of their gang on one corner and the other half on the other corner, and they just went back and forth for a few minutes. It was cooler than being in the jazz club, which was awesome. I mean, the jazz on there is incredible, and it's unique. But that was the coolest part for sure.
So from there we started back home, and a Villanova grad who's a friend of mine, Carmen Doma, who was a Canadian Olympian, just moved to Birmingham. So we stopped and had lunch with her and her husband and her daughter, and then continued up, and then started up. We actually went to Chattanooga and ran in a state park there.
And that was actually really nice. Enterprise Nature Park or something. But it was, they're just building it now, but beautiful trails, like very nicely manicured. And I was able to get like about 4.5 miles or so, like out and back, only on the same trail, which is, good. So just a little double run, but we made friends with the park ranger and everything.
Yeah, so they kept the gate open for us because they were closing it up. And then we came up the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Skyline Drive, stopped and met another Columbia kid, incoming freshman, who was in Charlottesville, and he took us to the ACC Championship cross country course.
Yeah, it's like UVA's cross country course.
Okay. So Pat ran on that.
That's where ACC's where the show where Ryan Hill won, and so I did a workout there and had some food and headed on our way. But that was nice. I got to meet one of the incoming freshmen, which I actually ran with 2 more of them this morning. So making my rounds, making sure I'm getting ready to come this year, and I'm in New York City, and then from there we went up Skyline Drive to Luray, Virginia, and then and then back up to Jersey Shore, and that was kind of the final stop. He went back that night, and I spent a couple days there with my mom and my brother. Okay. So that was pretty much the trip. But if you look at the map, I mean it's up around and then back up to Boulder, and then it's the whole circuit.
How long were you on the road for?
I was on the road for, it depends on where you consider at the end of the trip. Back to Philadelphia, I was 6 weeks and 5 days.
Okay.
So, and then he had that week and a half where he was not with me, and he obviously got back a couple days sooner. Okay. So we left on June 14th, and I got back on July 31st.
Quite the experience.
Yeah, it was unlike anything we've ever done before. It was the best you could have expected, for sure.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about living and training right in the heart of New York City.
Yeah. Well, I guess a lot of people would shy away from it, and we face this problem all the time with recruits, and they say, how do you make it? It can't be fun. Well, that's only for NYU, because they're not. We're 3/4 of a mile from Central Park.
Yeah.
We have several loops through Central Park. One's 7 miles, one's 8 miles, one's 9 miles. almost exactly. So it's very easy to measure. We can do that. We can go along Riverside Drive, along the Hudson River, and we're 3 miles from the Armory. You know, so we warm up to the Armory and we do our indoor workouts there. The best indoor track on the one of the best on the East Coast. You know,
Yeah.
so you know we're it's really not bad. You know, in the winter it gets a little bit boring doing our long runs in Central Park because you know for me I'm doing these 18-mile long runs and it's you know you do 2 loops to Central Park and then you go down Riverside for a while. You pretty much do that every weekend because you know that's what they class. You can't really improvise in the fall and the spring. We usually go to Rockefeller State Park, about 35 to 40 minutes outside the city. Like I'm sure my teammates are there right now. And it's beautiful. It's all bridle paths and hundreds of miles of trails, and it's just, you couldn't ask for a better place to do a long run. All like nice rolling hills and real good inclines, but it's not like trails. It's all good footing, so you can get rolling pretty good if you want to. And you know, a couple of lakes, and it's just beautiful. And so that is really like, you know, we couldn't really ask for a better place than that.
You do some workouts at Dandy, right?
Oh yeah, and we'll do like medium long runs at Van Cortlandt Park, and we'll do almost like we have 2 workouts a week. We usually do Tuesday workout and Friday workout, and Wednesday will be our medium long. So we'll go up to Van Cortlandt on one of those days, and we'll do Central Park on those days. And you know, maybe we'll go back in the hills on the cinders. We might be on the grass loop in the in the middle of the park, or on the cinders out there in flats. You know, it's you can, and at Van Cortlandt you can easily fit in a 12, 13, 14 mile run without repeating yourself. So yeah, it works out pretty well. It's not as daunting as a lot of people think. And
no, I've been up there a few times, and Central Park it's a mecca for running. I don't think it's a better place to run.
Exactly.
With the possible exception of Valley Green.
It's my favorite place in the world.
Exactly. I had the opportunity to go up to Rockefeller and run with my teammates today, and I thought, oh well, this is really my only chance to do a long run at Valley Green. So obviously she's so good.
Cool. We're gonna pause it here.